Boo! Yas. I need to do some like proper video editing stuff. That made you jump, didn't it? Okay, I'm going to give you a quick overview, introduction as to what Nomad Pictures is. It's going to be like a 5 or 10 minute, probably less than that actually, update about what Nomad Pictures is, and I've kind of put some questions in here in the chat as well. So I'm going to stick these up by asking these questions. How do I can't remember how you did it. Oh, it's answer questions, but you can't actually click on the answer question on the very bottom one. So I'm just going to put it out anyway. Is what is Nomad Pictures and why share it on Blab? So in late December, we started playing around with the idea of setting up a photo site where you could share your photos, the ones that sat normally on your phone, or your cinemagraphs, or your flixels, or your slow motion stuff that just doesn't get out there, doesn't get put anywhere on the web. And so we came up with this idea between myself and Dalio on Twitter, about maybe as photographers adding photos onto it into different groups, and then kind of using it to sustain the costs that Team Humble has. So we have costs to do with the Slack channel, we have costs to do with the hosting of the app, we have costs in terms of wanting to do events and go and do like philanthropy kind of projects somewhere else in the world, be it Europe or America. And how could we do that? How could we sustain ourselves and do that? So I guess putting another question in here, how do I lock this seat? I'm going to lock that one. How will it sustain itself over time? So to start with, what we've done is we've put together two kinds of different approaches to it. One is to put Google AdSense into it, and the other one is to put adverts on there promoting our Fiverr gigs, our Udemy courses, our fundraisers, all that good stuff. So when you go to nomad.pictures, what happens? Hello Barbara, welcome. We kind of had a mess up with Blab, so we'll just fired it off somewhere else. So when you go to nomad.pictures, what you'll see is a bunch of pictures in different categories, and we're slowly building up the categories. When we get to a point where we've probably got about 1,000 to 5,000 photos on there, as we're optimizing as we go, we've got about 200 photos on there at the minute, which are all SEO optimized, which took quite a bit of time, which means our Google ranking has gone really quite high in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And now that I've spent some time speeding the site up, it's starting to show some traction, which is awesome. And although we're not getting a lot of money from the AdSense stuff, what's nice is that it also promotes our projects at the same time. So we've got like a two-pronged attack to this, is that we're giving away free pictures that you can use for bloggers. Bloggers can use it on their websites, or creatives can use it. But also it's a traffic generation tool for us, for Team Humble, in terms of sustaining ourselves. Now, we're not talking big money. We're talking a project that if you had 1,000 pictures on there, 2,500 pictures on there, 1,000 pictures on there, 5,000 pictures on there, the traffic that will bring in, once we start to promote it, we haven't started to promote it yet, once we get a little bit more pictures on there, once we've got about 500 to 1,000 pictures on there and they're all SEO'd up, then we will start to promote it on Product Hunt and a few other places as well. And it probably won't make a lot of money on AdSense. It'll probably make anywhere between sort of £100 and £200 a month on AdSense once we're up to the level we want in 6 months' time. We're already rating as a PR8, which is really good for like 3 weeks of just basic kind of SEO stuff on it. So it's just going to take a matter of time of it sort of rolling out there. Another way that we're going to start to see some traction on it is that we've got a Twitter account at nomad.pics. I'm going to write that, or somebody can write that into the chat channel. That'd be awesome. But the idea is that we will update the site as regularly as we can. And the problem at the minute we have is that we only have one camera person, that is Dale, who's taking all the photos, which are awesome photos, by the way. And so we've picked, I think it's like 8 or 9 different categories, but we're going to also start doing cinemagraphs, which are very cool, because cinemagraphs are like moving video, but then you sort of rub bits out of it, so only certain bits move. And the idea really for us is to be absolutely totally genuine about it, that all the photos have been taken by the people who've submitted them to the site. So that'll be me and Dale to start with, and then over time, and they're free for anybody to go and grab there and download. Hey Brad, how you doing? And so, you know, it's been a bit of a labor of love in January. I've been like spending quite a lot of time trying to get this thing flying, and I've been like putting, you know, optimizing the crap out of it. So if you go to this website, grader, you'll see that we're at 96 out of 100 points. So I've got a few more little bits to do in terms of optimizing some of the style sheets and things like that, but it's pretty damn fast. And the idea is basically a copy of a great website that we love, which is Boss Fight. But I was getting frustrated in how do we take something like Team Humble and make it sustainable, because it kind of worked out pretty early on that, you know, there's only a few people at the top of the like passion list who wanted to move it forward in terms of like the effort to put in, time to put in, and some people have to drive it, and you know that costs money. Like I've got a bill right now for $107 for Slack for the channel for the last 3 or 4 months, and you can't really ask people for money because most things that people are used to using them for free. So how do you make something that you want to use that's a perfectly good tool sustainable? And I think most creatives would say this, that you know the majority of their bills now, apart from their mortgage or their house or their rent or their food, is web bills, is cloud services. How many cloud services have you got that you're paying monthly into? So I kind of want to find a way where we can creatively use the passions of stuff that we love to do, which is taking photos, doing videos, doing our creative stuff when we're kind of away from the computer and on an iPad or on a phone, or traveling. You know, I like to edit photos when I'm sort of moving along or making vines. How can I convert that into enough of a sustainable income to pay the cover, you know, to cover all the charges so that we don't have to worry too much, you know? Smart creatives would crowdfund such a project. I don't know who smart creatives are, but Bob, do tell us. At Phil Campbell would be great. And then the idea is, once we've got all this sort of set up and running, we want to duplicate it. We want to kind of clone it and migrate it for different niches, for different areas. So I've noticed that a couple of services that we started to use, VidMob recently, I think the issue that they have is driving the right kind of traffic for you to be able to convert it into sort of money and cents, you know, like dollars and cents, should I say. So this is kind of a bit of a project for us to sustain ourselves. And like I said, we've only spent 3 or 4 weeks on it. It's super screaming fast. I've done all the SEO on it. We've put an ad banner network in there and made all the banners for that, which point to our other gigs, which is like Fiverr and People Per Hour and all these other places. And what's cool about that is that it kind of promotes the stuff we're working on while allowing us to be creatives. And I've been wanting for the longest time to have something like an asset online that we can use to promote, but also at the same time give away free stuff, because it just sits on the phone anyway. How many photos do you take and you don't actually put them anywhere in the cloud or use them? And how many times as a blogger have you been looking for a picture for your blog but you don't know if it's copyright? A lot of like genned up people in the sort of top 5% will know where to go on the web to get like copyright free sources, but also a lot of time people don't know where to get them from. So we're adding to the mix, I guess, but all our stuff is legitimately ours. We've not stolen it from anywhere else. And that's the good thing about this. It's kind of like there's kind of a 360 approach to all of this. So yeah, I'm going to answer another question because I put some questions in here. The site already, after 3 or 4 weeks, is rated as a PR8, which is just like organic search for PR8 is just insane. It does fluctuate between 5 and 8. And at the moment, I've noticed that because we've got 70% bounce rate, it's because we haven't updated our pictures in the last couple of weeks, which is really super interesting to look at Google Analytics. I think that's one massive area that people just overlook, is they plug in Google Analytics and then they don't even look at it. It's just kind of like, oh, I think it's doing all right, because you can't read it, because you can't understand like what you're looking at. So I've been looking at it and noticing the trends of things being added. I think I said it earlier on, but if you sign up to nomad.pics, you get updates when we add new pictures. And I should touch on that as well, because I think that's an interesting background process as well. I think the reason why a lot of people don't set up these sites is because there's a lot of admin and work that goes into getting the pictures ready and everything else. So we found a plugin that helps with uploading pictures and making a post. But I've also been able to talk to the guy who makes the plugin to suggest additional features, and he's going to do them for like an hourly rate, which allows us to upload a picture for the blog post, a full-size picture, a featured picture, put text in the post, like copy and paste my sort of SEO stuff, replace certain things in that for the title name, and just generally speed up the whole process of putting them online, which basically means all we have to do as creatives making the photos is upload them to Dropbox, and then pull them from Dropbox, drag and drop them into the uploader, and it creates the post either as published or draft, and then we can go in and drop in all the SEO. But as we do that, it also, the Twitter plugin just posts all the images out with the full size image, which is really cool because it's really lightweight in operation. We don't have to spend a huge amount of our days, kind of like, we can go out for an hour, pick a particular area, shoot 10 pictures, come back, edit them, upload them, and it's like done in a couple of hours. It's still time, but I see this as a really nice 360 sustainable way of paying money into the services that we use. So it might be Slack or our app development, etc. I should also put in here as well for you guys to download is app.teamhumble.org. We've kind of made a cookie cutter site app. We found a company to work with. It's not polished yet. It doesn't look super nice. It's not as I want it to be. But what's nice about it is that all the pictures that are on Nomad Pictures, as we add new ones, they show up on the app as well in a different category. If you scroll across the top, you can see it. And we're moving towards using the app as well for push notifications, because not everybody uses Blab, not everybody uses Twitter, not everybody knows how the internet works in terms of getting notified for stuff. Yet a lot of people would understand if they got like a push notification on their phone. So our app does have push notification support, and once we start to see a large number of users on there, when we do big stuff like get together as Team Humble as a group for events, then we can send out a push notification and tell you about, you know, bundle packs, etc. Another thing that we're going to be doing with Nomad Pictures, which I think is genius, and we stole this idea from somebody else as well, is that we're going to bundle every single picture up that we put on Nomad Pictures. So once we get 500, 1,000, 2,500, 3,000, you're literally going to be able to download that whole pack for a small fee on Gumroad. So you don't even have to go through the whole of the site clicking into different areas. We'll just put them into different categories. You'll have 2,000 free photos that you can use. That'll be high quality photos that we've taken and edited, so that you've always got something in a different category that you can put on your blog or into your project, and it'll be copyright free. So kind of excited about Nomad Pictures. I'm going to finish this recording up now because I'm going to upload this onto YouTube. I'm going to be doing smaller shows, 5-10 minute update shows, like as and when we put a new feature out there, just to keep you up to date on our different projects. I've got another show supposedly starting in 8 minutes time, so I have to wrap it up. I will catch up with you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to follow along. Have a look at Nomad Pictures. If there's anything particularly that you're interested in, have you put together a business plan for marketing plan for Nomad Pictures? Not really yet. We've spent a lot of work on the actual infrastructure and the site. I have an idea, but it's not written down yet. But if you want to converse with me, you and Dale, that would be great. All right, guys, I will see you in about 8 minutes for another update show about the Team Humble app, I think it is. See you in a bit. Bye.